Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday, September 8th, 2020 Common Council meeting. Clerk will call the roll, please.
Nelson.
Here.
Shulsky.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Hildebrand.
Here.
Gilson. Here. Maxdor.
Here.
Hanson.
Present.
Odeker. Present.
Let the record show we have a quorum. Next is the pledge. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you and welcome all. Moving on, next item, approval of the consent agenda. Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
I would move that we approve the consent agenda. Wilson. Second, Hildebrand.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Clerk will call for the approval of consent agenda, please.
Gilson.
Yes.
Shulsky.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Odeker. Yes. Wilson.
Yes.
Maxdor.
Yes.
Hildebrand.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item 4 is the audience portion where we ask people to sign in and be recognized by the chair. That's where you do the talking and we do the listening. No one has signed in this evening, but we certainly encourage people to come and tell us what's on your mind. No items were removed from the consent agenda this evening. Item 5 is not needed. Item 6, new business. Approval of roadway repairs to Eastern Avenue and County Trunk C. Total project cost to be shared 50-50 with Sheboygan County Highway Department. Estimated cost of $14,000 to come from the contingency fund, and that's our approximate 50% share. I'll ask Interim Administrator Kathy Austin for an explanation, please.
Sure. So on the back side of my memo is the attached map. The areas in red, so they're the drive lanes only in those vicinities, would be where the county would do mill and then repave with asphalt in those sections. Because it's still a county trunk highway C, the county can still do the maintenance on it. About 10 years ago, the state made a ruling that county cannot do roadway work or projects for municipalities over 5,000. However, in this case, they still are eligible to do the work because it is a connecting highway. So the total project is about 28,000, or estimated to be about 28,000. Our share would be 14,000 to hit those kind of the worst areas on that stretch. They'd still do it yet this year, probably in the beginning of October. And so because it's unbudgeted, I'm asking to use contingency funds to pay for that work.
Thank you, Director Austin. I'll call on Utility Chair Alder Gilson for a motion on this item, please.
I move to approve for approval of the roadway repairs to Eastern Avenue and County Trunk C. Total project cost to be shared 50-50 with the Sheboygan County Highway Department. Estimated cost of $14,000 to come from the contingency fund. Interim.
We have a first, we have a second.
Second. Alderman Nelson.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Clerk will call the roll, please.
Hanson.
Yes.
Maxdor.
Yes.
Shulsky.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Gilson.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Odeker. Yes. Hildebrand.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Moving on to item B, approval of utility building modifications to service counter, estimated cost of $5,500. Expenditures are eligible under the Routes to Recovery Program. Again, Administrator Austin, if you give us a summary on that, please.
Sure. I think the best thing to do would go through the pictures that were attached in your pamphlet. I think this addresses two of the concerns. One is obviously the pandemic and how we're handling customers and doing the modification and allowing them only in that entryway really reduce any safety aspects for COVID and for any pandemic in the future, and even just the general flu, right? So the other thing is, I know like a year ago, the former administrator Jurgis had talked about the safety aspect of the utility building and just being pretty wide open. So I think we can address both those concerns. So in this instance, that second set of doors that lead into the current counter would remain locked at all times unless authorized to go past that point. And we already had that counter that we moved there. That's a pre-existing counter moved. The yellow lines show where we actually would have to cut it down though, because it's too deep to reach the window. So we just have to cut that down. And then one of the clericals that sit up front would actually, she had moved to this location permanently and would be the first one dealing with them on a day-to-day basis. And so the couches that are, or the chairs that are currently there, we'd get a partition wall and they just sit on the other side of that. So we'd still have seating for people that are waiting. It just wouldn't be in that huge lobby area. So then, as far as the glass window goes, just 2 window panes would have to come out and then be replaced with just the one window with kind of with the service access point. Through the quotes, this will be about just over $5,000 to do the wiring and all the modifications that we would need. And it would be eligible through the routes to recovery for the pandemic.
Thank you, Director Austin. The chair will entertain a motion from our utility chairperson, Alder Gilson, on this item.
For approval of the utility building modifications to the service counter, estimated cost of $5,050. Expenditures are eligible under the Routes to Recovery program.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion?
I noticed the Sheboygan Falls has a similar setup, right? Sabrina, I think, where you go into the big utility bills and there's a window there and you hand money through the window.
That's correct.
So security is important. You never know when you're not really trusting the
I think it follows a pattern that we have throughout the city, separating entrances in the public and security-wise. And the schools have certainly done the same progress in their new remodeling and addition program. So this is certainly an extension of that.
You know, I guess it makes me think that maybe we should look down the road at the clerk's office too, and maybe change that up a little bit. I don't know if that's been thought of at this time.
I can say it's been discussed, but it's a whole lot different problem. Unfortunately, might be cheaper to replace the building.
It's not go there.
No, not quite, not quite that much. But, yeah, it's an ongoing discussion, yeah.
Yeah.
Mayor Bowen?
Alder Hansen.
Question I have, will the $5,000 be enough, or is that going to cover it? I'm seeing
I don't, 5,000 is what's expected. I really don't see, if it costs 6,000 would be the top limit, but it really, it should be around the $5,000 mark. Yep. Yeah, because the biggest costs are really the networking, the window replacement's only $450. That's quote from Plymouth Glass. So it's kind of all these little minor costs. But yeah, I don't see it going much more than 5.
Shannon, what we need is just potentially 6 or leave it at 5.
I think with it being an estimated cost at 5, obviously if it came in double that, I'd be coming back. I don't foresee that by any means, because we have quotes for most of that work.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Clerk will call the roll, please.
Hildebrand,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Matsdorf.
Yes.
Oliver.
Yes.
Gilson.
Yes.
Shilsky.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. The chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move we adjourn, Wilson.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All ayes have it. Thank you very much. Stay dry.